All right. So let's finish up the set review here. We're almost done. The first artifact or colorless card is Wizard's Rockets. 1 mana. Wizard's Rockets enter the battlefield tapped. X. Tap. Sacrifice Wizard's Rockets. Add X mana in any combination of colors. When Wizard's Rocket is put into graveyard, draw a card. This card is exactly what I was asking for in like March of the Machine. I think this is really good. You can't use it the turn it comes in, but that's fine. I like it. And it replaces itself. And you can fix. Actually, Wizard's Rocket has some really interesting implications. Wizard's Rockets means that you can actually play like 5 color or like 4 color non-green. Since this is a common. What? Hold on. Wizard's Rocket. I think you can play 5 color non-green. I like it. I like it. And I think that there are some like prowess type cards in the format. I'm not sure. This is a cool card. I think I want to like what do I want to give this card though as a rating? Can I just give this card an A? Can I give this card an A? A minus? B plus? It's kind of crazy to give this card an A, but you guys can sue me. It's fine. Oh, an S? I could give an S. All right, let's start the card off as an A minus here. Ooh, this looks delicious. What exactly is this, chat? Is this like is this like flour? Like flour bread? Lembas. 2 mana. Enters a battlefield, scry 1, then draw a card. Sacrifice Lembas, you gain 3 life. Elvish bread, okay. Elvish bread. It looks dry though. Sacrifice Lembas, you gain 3 life. When Lembas is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, its owner shuffles it into your life. Wait. This card is kind of cool, dude. Wait, this card's kind of cool. Hold on. Can I just be an infinite mana Lembas deck? Wait. What if my deck does fucking nothing, chat? What if I just have nothing, fucking nothing? And I'm just removal spells, blockers, and Lembas. And then I have like clear the mind and stuff. Do nothing Lembas deck. It'll deck you, but there's other ways to not deck though. There's other ways to not deck. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I can play 1-hour games with Lembas. I'm pretty sure. Dude, I'm pretty sure that I can play these 1-hour best of 1 games with Lembas. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I think I want to start this card off as like a D plus though. I don't think I want to spend a card on this. Dude, the artifacts are exciting. Hold on, guys. Dude. Red Tribal. Yeah, if I have 2, it's enough, probably. I don't even need more than 2. Huh. Next card here, Shire Scarecrow. 2 mana, 0/3 defender. Add 1 mana of any color. Activate it once each turn. I actually like this. I like this. So this is actually what I asked from the March of the Machine set, right? That it was just like a 2 mana defender dork that stopped aggression, but also fixed your mana. And I like this as well. You can activate only once each turn. Like, this is really cool. Mopsy, welcome back for the 11 months. Thank you so much. Almost there at 1 full year. Welcome back to the Dueling Academy. Today's class, masterclass, is on Desi's set review for Lord of the Rings. Thank you. This blocks... Oh, this also blocks all the ring bearers. That is interesting. Like the small ring bearers. Huh. And then if it gets bigger, then you can block with other stuff. That is so interesting. I'm going to give this card a D, though. I'm going to start this card off as a D. Yeah, some of these in March of the Machine would have been interesting. Hello, Gettys. How's it going? Hit F, Frodo. The same 1/3 in Dominaria? No. It was not like this. It's probably like... I don't think it was like this. I think this is the first time I've seen this in a long time. Mana Worker was different, right? Mana Worker in Prismite, you went down on mana. This just filters a mana. This doesn't go down on mana, guys. All right, Inherited Envelope. 3 mana artifact. When Inherited Envelope enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Add a mana of any color. So I generally don't like mana rocks like this. However, it does have the ring tempts you on it. But yeah. I generally don't like cards like this. I'm going to give this card a D+. I just don't think you need it. I'd much rather play Wizards Rockets. I'd rather play like other stuff. I'd rather play Green to fix. I'd rather play the Defender card, I think. For the most part. But it does say the ring tempts you. It might be better. I can't tell. Okay. Next card here. Barrow Blade. Oh, this is a first uncommon here. Barrow Blade. 1 mana. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature loses all abilities until end of turn. I always get confused when they say that creature. That creature, I think, always refers to your opponent's creature, right? But how do you know, though? That creature loses all abilities until end of turn. So it's a short sword. And then they lose all their abilities on turn. It just doesn't seem that good, though. Dangling modifier, Gramming Error? It's weird, right? It's weird the way they do it. But maybe I'm just uneducated. Does it remove Death Touch? Yes, it removes Death Touch. But I still don't see the point in it, really. Like, do I care? Give this card a D? I just don't think it does anything. Ah, you can block their thing. It stops trample. But I don't really get it, though. It loses all abilities. Oh, that's interesting. It actually loses the Ring Bearer. Actually, it turns off all of their Ring Bearer abilities, right? Because they lose Ring Bearer because Ring Bearer is an ability. I'm pretty sure. So they stop being a Ring Bearer. Is that good? So you play this, you attack, and then you leave it back on a blocker. But the thing is that your blocker has to be able to be small enough to block their guy. Because if it's not, then you can't even block the Ring Bearer. So I don't think it's good. I really don't think it's good. It doesn't stop Ward or Hexproof, really, because they can choose to not attack with it. I believe Ring Bearer is an ability, right? It is an ability. Isn't it? It has to be an ability. It has to be an ability. I believe. I don't know. I don't know how magic works. All right, next card here. Stone of Eric. Who's Eric? 1 mana, legendary artifact. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Okay. 2 mana, sacrifice Stone of Eric. Exile target player's graveyard, draw a card. Oh, shit. So this fucks up my Clear the Mind shit. It's probably fine, though. If a creature an opponent controls would die, exile it instead. Actually, this stops Mirkwood Bats, right? Wait. Actually, it doesn't stop Mirkwood Bats from sacking treasures and food, but it stops them from sacking creatures. This card is actually decent and limited. I mean, this card's gonna fuck me up for sure. Because I'm gonna try to Clear the Mind stuff. I'm also gonna try to play like blue-red, I'm gonna try to play like blue-red spells and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try to have every one of my decks be a Clear the Mind deck. So this card does kind of destroy me. Start this off as a C. Situational. Is it that situational? I mean, it's still cantrips. How situational is it? It's situational if you're an attacking deck. Are there that many attacking decks in the format? How relevant is this Exile Clause? To prevent things from dying? Probably reasonably relevant. Yeah, it's a filler mainboard card. Something like that. Next card here, Ent Drought Basin. Ent Drought Basin. 2 mana artifact X. Tap. Put a counter on target creature with power X. Activate one as a sorcery. Wait, what? Put a counter on target creature with power X. Wait, what is this? Put a counter on target. What? Wait, what? Put a counter on target creature with power X. Oh, it doesn't go away. Oh. So 2 mana every turn. You can make your 1/1 X. Okay. So it's slow, but it's a mana sink. Is this card good? Is this card good? It's a mana sink, but you're only getting 1 counter max every turn. This is tap ability. And it's only activated sorcery. I kind of don't see it. I don't know. Is this good? I don't think it's good, right? I don't even think it's good for landlords. I'm gonna give this card a D. Because it's slow and like, yes, it does stuff and it's reasonably costed, but do I care? Make the ring bearer blockable? I mean, is it even good for a landlord? It's a bad value mana sink, chat. The effect of the droughts began at the toes and rose steadily through every limb, bringing refreshment and vigor as it cursed upward, right to the tips of the hair. All right, I don't get it. Next card here, this uncultured swine. Mirror of Galadriel. 2 mana legendary artifact. Whoa. 5 mana tap, scry 1, then draw a card. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary you control. I do kind of like this. Scry 1, then draw a card. This is better do nothing than the X spell. So I feel like on average, it's not that hard to get like 2. Then you can 3 mana tap, draw a card, and then you can get more legendaries and squeeze in this. I like it. Just because there's not that much good card draw in this set too. I think I like this card. Start this one off as a B-. It is still deck situational though. I don't think it's going to fit in every deck, but it has a lot of potential. All right, let's move into the rares for the set though. Oh, does it count as self? No. It says legendary creatures, right? For each legendary creature. This is a legendary artifact. Also, that art was sick, by the way. Horn of the Mark. Wait, who's Mark? This is like Tom's friend? 2 mana, whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player. It's on attack, it's not even on damage. Look at the top 5 real creature from among them. Put the rest. I do like this one. It's just cheap. It is also just cheap. And you're... I think it's quite good. Give this one an A-. Or maybe just give it an A. Just give it a flat A. I mean, I wonder how easy it is going to be attack. I think it's not that hard, though. It's easily S. Is it? I don't know. It doesn't have to be an aggro deck, though. Is it good at every point in the game? Not necessarily. A+. I think I just give it an A. I think it's fine. Can move it up or down later. All right, next card here, Sting, the Glinting Dagger. 2 mana. Equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has haste. Okay. At the beginning of each combat, untap equipped creature. So that's on your combat and your opponent's combat as well. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocking or blocked by a goblin or orc. Equipped 2. Wonder how good this is. It gives something haste, but it costs 2 to equip. It's not like a Swiftfoot Boots or something where it's just 1. And even 1 is expensive, honestly. Beginning of each combat, you untap equipped creature, so it gives it pseudo vigilance. Equipped creature has first strike as long as it's blocked. I don't get it. So what I don't understand is that we actually didn't see equipment. So all of the equipment stuff, like the red-white stuff, and there's the black-red-gold card, they don't do shit. Dude, they just don't do shit in this format. I don't know. I think this card doesn't do shit. Let's give this card a D. I don't get it. I mean, it can block amass tokens, but who cares? Give this card a D. Bilbo's Ring. That's pretty cool. Wait, Bilbo's Ring is different from the ring? I guess so. I mean, I guess there's a lot of rings in the story. 3 mana. As long as it's your turn, equipped creature has hexproof and it can't be blocked. Hexproof and can't be blocked. That's pretty strong. Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, draw a card and you lose a life. Okay. Equip halfling as 1. Like Frodo and Sam and a bunch of these creatures are halflings. Then you can equip 4 to a non-halfling. This card seems actually good, though. This card seems good, right? It does a lot. It's reasonably costed. You're gaining advantage, and it's hexproof. And then if you have halflings, it's like pretty darn cheap. I don't think you necessarily need a Hobbit deck. You need a deck that has some Hobbits in it. But I would play this in my 5-color deck as well. I actually like this card. The format doesn't seem like blisteringly fast either. As long as it's your turn as hexproof. So that's still fine though. I'm gonna give this card an A+. Isn't this card just unbeatable for a lot of decks though? This card might be unbeatable for a lot of decks. Is it A+ or is it an S? I think A+ is fine, right? Okay. Let's leave it as A+. Next card here, Horn of Gondor. Oh, you can play a Frodo deck with that. That's pretty funny, too. Horn of Gondor. 3 mana legendary artifact. When Horn of Gondor enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Alright, I'm listening. Create a 1/1. Okay, 3 mana tap, create X 1/1 white human creature tokens or X the number of humans you control. This card is this Pack Rat? Wait, is this Pack Rat? Hold on, guys. This card's Pack Rat. Wait. Hold on. It's Kranko? I don't think it's Kranko. I think it's Pat Rack because Kranko has to attack. Like, this doesn't have to attack. Isn't this card just unbeatable most of the time? Takes 3 turns to get out of hand. I mean, you play this on 3 and then you activate it every turn, right? You can even play a human on 1 or 2 as well. Sucks if you don't have humans, but this makes a human. I'm pretty sure this is S. I mean, it's slow, but who cares? I'm pretty sure you just win the game, right? I'm pretty sure this card is unbeatable. I mean, your opponent needs a pretty fast deck, I suppose. Your opponent needs a fast deck. Kranko Mob Boss? Is it Kranko Mob Boss? I'm pretty sure this is Pack Rat, guys. I'm pretty sure this is Pack Rat, dude. I guess Pack Rat is like more punch because they grow exponentially. I mean, these grow. I guess you could also activate Pack Rat multiple times too. I mean, it's basically Pack Rat. It's basically Pack Rat, guys. Horn of Gondor. Wait, I messed up with the. Hold on. Wait, what? Is it actually Kranko? I can't remember what form. It's 4 mana Kranko, right? All right. I got no idea. I'm going to give it an S, though. Okay, next card here, Mithril Coat. 3 mana flash indestructible. Enters the battlefield. Attach it to legendary creature control. Creature has indestructible. That's pretty toxic, too. It's an indestructible trick and it's indestructible forever. I wonder how good it is. I mean, it just stops your opponent from attacking. Honestly, can't tell. I really just can't tell, to be honest. Probably start this off as like a C+. I mean, the thing is that it has indestructible forever, but it's not hexproof. And does it matter? I mean, the thing can block forever. You're at this card's part. Indestructible, you get the first one free, and it has flash. And enters the battlefield, you don't have to equip. Yeah, seems insanely toxic in the right situation. I can't tell. Let's start it off as a C+ here. All right. Vial of Galadriel. 3 mana. If you would draw a card while you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. So this is like a weird Library of Alexandria thing. If you would gain life while you have 5 or less life, you gain twice as much life instead, and it's a mana rock. If you draw a card when you have no cards in hand, draw 2 cards instead. I mean, this is decent. If you gain life while you have 5 or less life, you gain twice as much life instead. Draw a card while you have no cards and draw 2 cards instead. This is fancy for sure. This is fancy. I mean, I will play this card. I can't tell how good it is, though. I don't think you play this in an aggro deck, because in an aggro deck, it's hard to draw cards, right? You want to play this card in, like, control or mid-range type deck that has a lot of small things and draws cards already. I can't tell. Start this one off as a B-. All right, moving on to the Mythics. This is Covert Gold Blues card review. I didn't get a card reveal this time, chat. Feels bad. Glamdring, 2 mana. A quick creature has first strike and gets +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. So this is like Runechanter's Pike. First strike and has +1/+0 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. Then, whenever a quick creature deals combat damage to a player, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying... with mana value less than or equal to that damage without paying its mana cost. It's expensive, though. Runechanter's Pike was like 2 and 2, right? This is 2 and 3. The power level's pretty good, but it has to deal combat damage to a player. I kind of don't get it, to be honest. I kind of don't get it. Because the thing is that every single deck is going to be already going to have the Ring Tempts You, and that is already evasion. And then you have evasion on evasion for this sort of chance of being able to cast instant sorcery spells from hand. So it does work in like a sort of blue-red deck, but is this the card you want? Honestly, can't tell. I honestly just can't tell. I mean, it's good on blocks as well. This is so expensive. I really just can't tell, dude. Let's start this card off as a C. I just cannot tell how it plays out at all. Because I also don't really know the speed of the format. I can't tell if the format's going to be slow or fast. All right. So this is the controversial card in question. Andrew, Flame of the West, 3 mana. Equipped creature gets +3/+1. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying. Damn. Whenever a creature attacks, create 2 tapped 1/1 white creatures with flying. If that creature is legendary, and create 2 of those tokens that are tapped and attacking. All right. This is insane. Right. This card is actually the nuts. Because the thing is that you can... It's kind of like that one card. What was that one card in Dominaria, chat? It was like an equipment that made knights. The thing is that you can just equip this on the spirits as well. So this card is like a 1-card infinite combo. Oh yeah, Helm of the Host, you can also just equip it on the copy as well. Why is there no cross guard on the sword? What's a cross guard? I'm not sure. This card is just a simple S, though. This is probably one of the best cards in the set as well. Flame of the West. So I just realized something as well, chat. The indestructible equipment that we just looked at, the Mithril Coat, what I realized that you could do is that you can make your Mirkwood bats So this card, Mythril Cloak, you can make your Mirkwood Bats into your Ring Bearer, and then indestructible your Mirkwood Bats. And then it's going to be impossible to win unless they can bounce it or something. Or I guess the 3-mana Searing Spear in red also gets through indestructible. But it seems really hard to kill, dude. It seems really hard. Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, Anduril seems omega busted. The sword is insane as well. This is a 6 sword. This card is way too good, by the way. It's good that it's mythic. All right. Palantir of Orthanc. Three mana at the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Any influencers out there? Put an influence counter on Palantir of Orthanc and Scry 2. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. Okay. Scry 2, then target opponent may have you draw a card. Wait, what? At the beginning of your end step, put an influence counter on the Palantir. And then Scry 2, then target opponent may have you draw a card. Then target opponent may have you draw a card. Okay. If that player doesn't, you mill X cards where X is the number of influence counters on Palantir, and that player loses life equal to the total mana value of this card. What? This is kind of weird. So they basically either let you draw cards or you mill yourself X. And then they're just gonna die at some point, right? So the thing is that, I mean, you just let them draw cards? This is like a like an underworld, like, it's not Underworld Connections. What's a 3-mana one in black? That's like pretty bad these days. I don't remember. So you can scry 2. Phyrexian Arena, yeah, Phyrexian Arena. So you can scry 2 and then they can have you draw a card. Otherwise, you mill X and then they just get domed. So they're gonna have to balance it. I think giving your opponent a choice, yeah, but it's still pretty good. It's much better than everything else. It's much better than Arena. This messes up your Lambda spread. I think it's pretty good. Gives card an A+. Am I insane? Maybe I'm insane. So Joel Larson asks, why do I think the Mirkwood Bats is good? I think it's good because there's a lot of the format revolves around treasure generation. Like a decent amount of it gets treasure generation. A decent amount of it is like food. And then there's also just a lot of like token creatures together with there's like a Trebuchet card that makes guys as well. And I think that the Mirkwood Bats is not only a common that you can build around, but it seems pretty easy. It just has so much sustain as well. There's like army tokens as well. I think Mirkwood Bats, unless the format is just like way faster than I imagine, I'm pretty sure Mirkwood Bats is like one of the best cards in this set. Because it's also an engine as well. So I think Mirkwood Bats is going to be one of the best cards of this set, but who knows? Maybe I'm crazy. Anyways, this card's cool. Oh, I've actually never seen this card, by the way, chat. I've actually never seen this card, by the way. So this is actually the ring. I've only seen the ring with the, is it Elven text? The Elven text that's been going around. But yeah, the One Ring, 4 mana, indestructible. When the One Ring enters a battlefield, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything until your next turn. Okay, if you cast it, you gain protection from everything in your next turn. At the beginning of your upkeep, you lose a life for each bird encounter on the One Ring. Wait, what? Tap, put a bird encounter on the One Ring, then draw a card for each bird encounter on the One Ring. Wait. This card is a lot less exciting than I expected. I will have to say. For a card that's worth $1 million, I would have imagined this card to be game-breaking. This card is not game-breaking, right? What? I think this card is less interesting than Palantir. It also is not Soul Ring. I literally don't understand. Wait, what? I mean, the flavor is good, I guess. Yeah, the flavor is good. It's like, You lose life for cards, but it's kind of boring, right? Yeah, this card's super overrated, dude. It's so overrated. I'm pretty sure the Palantir card was better. Yeah, for $1 million is boring. I don't get it. Honestly, the One Ring could have just been Soul Ring. They literally, honestly, what they should have done was just make it the One Ring, make it like Mecha Godzilla and stuff, and it's just Soul Ring. Why not, to be honest? Why not? I think that would have been more interesting. All right. Anyways, how good is this card in Limited? I don't know. The thing is that it's hard to control this. I mean, you're gonna get a bunch of cards and you have food and stuff to offset it, but I don't know. I want to give this card a C minus, probably. All right, I'll give this card a C minus. Just make it 1-drop, tap for 3 mana. Yeah, like they should have done something like that. Like just have it be format breaking, right? Just have it be format breaking. Is what I think. I'm not sure. Maybe I don't know shit though. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the artifacts. And I'm very surprised to not see more equipment. I'm surprised to not see like some big dorky or mid-range equipment. So most of the equipment that we've seen are like in the colors themselves. And then the equipment is just not that interesting in this format. There's no Goldwing pick. There's no like mid-range card, which makes me wonder what these white-red and sometimes black-red decks are supposed to be doing. Nobody's playing equipment in this format, right? Nobody's playing equipment unless you open up the Anduril Flame of the West that makes spirits. All right, let's see what the lands have in store for us. Great Hall of the Citadel. 1 mana tap. 1 mana tap. Add 2 mana in any color in any combination of colors. Spend this mana only cast legendary spells. All right, so this is not an Unknown Shores, right? This is not an Unknown Shores because you're not losing mana on it, but you can only cast legendary spells. This is reasonable, actually. I think this is actually reasonable in your 5-color deck, and you don't actually have to be 5-color green. I don't think so. I don't think you have to be, I don't think you have to be green. I think 5-color legendaries is a very real deck. And I don't think that there's a 5-color green deck. Or, sorry. Like, I also think there is a 5-color green deck, but you don't have to be 5-color green. 5-color green can probably play one of these as well. I mean, this is filler, but you can play 1 or 2 copies of it, probably, I think. This also has Pauper implications, right? I guess Pauper, you're not playing 5 colors. Is there any reason to play 5 colors in Pauper? Not really, right? Now that I think about it. This is an interesting card. I'm going to start this card off as the same rating as the ring. The One Ring. C minus. Are there common legendaries, chat? Yeah, Pauper has 0 legendaries, right? Okay, next card here, Shire Terrace. Tap, add a colorless. 1 mana tap, sacrifice Shire. Search your library for a basic land card, put on the battlefield tapped, then shuffle. Interesting. This is like Evolving Wilds, but you need to spend 1 mana and tap this to look for a basic land card? Why, though? I assume we never need this, right? I assume we never need this. We never need this, right? I don't think so. Why should we ever play this? Does anyone know? It adds mana, but who cares? Is what I'm saying. We have so many better mana fixing options in the format. Like, why am I ever playing this? Why am I ever playing this? I don't think I'm ever playing this, right? D minus? Give Stars card off at a D minus. I mean, if there weren't any other options in the format, I might consider it, but I'm pretty sure Pauper power level is like still strong enough that you never have to play that, right? Okay. Anyways, next card here. The only uncommon land in the format. The Grey Havens. When the Grey Havens enters the battlefield, you scry 1. Tap, add a colorless. Tap, add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures in your graveyard. That good? Don't think so. This is Zhalfirin Void. The art is sick. The art is definitely sick. There dwelt Círdan the Shipwright, and some say he dwells there still, until the last ship sets sail into the west. It's a legendary. That's interesting. Legendary uncommon land. I've never seen that before, actually. This seems great. Why? It's a Zhalfirin Void, which we don't play anymore, honestly. Like, we never play Zhalfirin Void anymore. A land that just cries and adds colorless. And then 1 mana among any legendary creature cards in your graveyard. So it's not adding colored mana when you need it most, which is early. It's a cool card. Again, I don't see why I ever play this. D-? I'm just never playing this. I don't know. Scry is good, but the card is not good itself, so I don't think we play this. All right, let's move on to the rares here. There seem to be a cycle of lands. Barad-dûr. Barad-dûr. Is this where Sauron lives? Or is this where Sauron's boss lives? Dude, this card straight up looks like Aku, man. Look at this card. This looks like the shape of Aku's head. Foolish samurai warrior. Those who pass the gates of Barad-dûr do not return. Okay. Then how did they get home? Barad-dûr enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Tap, add a black. X black. X amass orcs X. Amass orcs X, not X orcs? No, amass orcs X, I see. Activate only if a creature died this turn. Wait, this land is sick. Wait, this land is sick. Barad-dûr. Okay. Dude, this card is sick, dude. I love cards like this, by the way. Some of my favorite cards in Magic back in the day were cards like Kessig Wolfrun, Nephalia Drownyard, stuff like that. I even like the one card. What was the card? Alchemist Refuge, dude. Alchemist Refuge was never good, but I love that land. It was like a blue-green land, which you tap it, and it costs a lot of mana, but you can flash stuff in. It was not good or anything, but this card is actually good. It just replaces a color land in your deck. You can splash this card as well, right? You can splash this card because I guess you need another black source. You need another black source. But a creature dies, and then you can amass it, and you can do it instant speed. And it's a reason to just have 1,000,000 lands and be a landlord. I think this card is awesome. Is it S tier, though? Probably not. Probably like A+. I feel like I always play this card unless I'm an aggro deck or something. Like a red-white aggro deck or something. And I'm probably never red-white. It's slow. I don't think I care. I don't think I care. I think this card's awesome. Let's give this card an A+. I'm considering between A+ and S. I don't think it's S. Because even if you spend, like, what is this? 5 mana tap plus another land, 6 mana, then you amass for 2. Is that right? Right? Because it's 2, 2, and then X is equal to 2. It's 5. So 6 mana you amass for 2. It's kind of small, honestly. It's kind of small. It's not 5 total, right? 2, 2, 5, and then you have to tap this one as well. So it's 6. Yeah, and you can activate on your opponent's turn. I think it's pretty cool. I think A+ is fine. All right. Next card here, Minas Tirith. I definitely said that correct. Minas Tirith enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a legendary creature. Tap at a white. 1 mana and a white and tap. Draw a card. Activate only if you attacked with 2 or more creatures this turn. So it's kind of weird. You attack with 2 or more creatures this turn, then you spend 3 mana to draw a card. I mean, it's still good just because it's on a land. This card is probably just like an A as well. The card is still good. It is a little bit weird to use, I will have to admit, but it's just fine. It's just fine. Like, the opportunity cost is so low, dude. It's so low. The opportunity cost is essentially this enters the battlefield tapped. So it's actually just perfectly fine. I would see the white tree and flower again in the courts of the kings, in Minas Tirith in peace. Faramir. Pretty cool. Next card here, Mines of Moria. Mines of Moria enters above a tap and lets you control a legendary creature. 1 mana tap, add a red. 4 mana tap, exile 3 cards from your graveyard. Create 2 treasure tokens. So this one is less interesting, I will have to say. You spend 5 mana to exile 3 cards from your graveyard, and it's not even a graveyard, to make 2 treasures? I don't think this is acceptable. Yeah, the red one is always garbage. I mean, this is good with bats, but everything is good with bats. All right, this is pretty good with bats, I will have to say. This is pretty darn good with bats. Ramps you from 5 to 7? Who cares, though? Card is pretty good with bats. Everything is good with bats, chat. This will see constructed play? You think so? Aren't there better ways to make treasures in constructed? I mean, this might be an unfair comparison, but like think about cards like Fable of the Mirror Breaker, right? Kiki-Jiki. You just get treasures for basically for free for playing good cards. This one you have to play a bad card, spend your entire turn to do bad things to get bad stuff. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think I'm gonna give this card a D-. Fable is busted, but there are a lot of cards that are like that that give you treasures while you're doing good stuff, right? You played an Izzet-like decks for what, though? For what? Also, Izzet decks don't want to exile cards from their graveyard, because cards in your graveyard means that your other stuff get more powerful. This card doesn't do shit. You know what? I think I'm gonna give this card an F. Let's give this card an F. To send a sign. As a mana sink. Guys, a mana sink for the sake of a mana sink doesn't do shit. A mana sink for the sake of a mana sink. Mana sinks need to do something, though. Okay. Next card here, Rivendell. Damn, this art is sick, though. This card art is sick. Rivendell enters battlefield tap and lets your legendary creature tap out of blue. 2 mana tap, scry 2. Activate only if you control a legendary creature. I mean, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Card is good. Scry 2. Give us like a B-. A B-. Maybe it's just like a B+. I don't know. Because the thing is that there are scry benefits, and this being able to scry instant speed and get some stats and stuff is pretty good. So I think in a normal format, it would probably be a little bit lower, but in this format, there's scry synergies as well. I do like it. And again, the opportunity cost is so low. It's just a high pick, right? It's a high pick. I would probably pick cards in this format that give direction over this card, though. I'm not sure. Yeah. It's an elf. Capital. Were I to go where my heart dwells, I would now be wandering in the fair valley of Rivendell. Aragorn. Okay. Ooh, the Shire. That's pretty cool. All right, the Shire. Enter battlefield tap or lets control legendary creature. Tap at a green. 2 mana tap. Tap an untapped creature you control. Create a food token. I like this one as well. I do like this one. Relatively inexpensive. This is more of like when you have nothing to do. But I still like it. I still like it. Food is an engine in this format, and it's a bad combo. Guys, everything is a bad combo. I'm gonna give this one a B, probably. Maybe even a B+. I mean, it's a lot of mana, but yeah, who knows? The creature you tap prepares the food. You must start somewhere and have some roots, and the soil of the Shire is deep. Mary. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let's give this one a B. I'm not convinced I'm B+, but yeah, whatever. Card is good is what I'm saying. Your farming simulator deck? We can put this in the deck with the horses, by the way. All right, the very final card of the format, and it's going to be the only mythic rare land, Mount of Doom. Ugh. I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan, chat, yet. Or like that big of a Lord of the Rings fan, I should say. But damn, look at that card, dude. Oh my god. Tap, pay a life, add a black or a red. 3 mana tap. Mountain Doom deals 1 damage to each opponent. Wait, hold on. This card better say other stuff on it, chat. I am gonna be upset. 7 mana. All right, I'm listening. 7 mana tap. Sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. Wait, you lost me. You lost me. I guess you can have your Ring Bearer on your Scarecrow or something. Then it's a legendary artifact creature. Choose up to 2 creatures, then destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery. Sacrifice Mount Doom and a legendary artifact. So 8 mana. You also need to have a legendary artifact. And it's not even a historic thing. It has to be literally a legendary artifact. Not a legendary creature, not a saga, not a planeswalker. Speaking of planeswalkers, I didn't see a planeswalker in the set. Wait, there's no planeswalker in the set, right? Wait. Is this the first set in like 10 years without a planeswalker? Wait. This is the first set in like 15 years or something, right? No planeswalker in Universe Beyond set. Wait. WotC says no walkers and non-Wizards IP. Damn, that's sick. Hell yeah, dude. I am all there for it. I am for that. Then Frodo and Sam live. But how do you get a legendary artifact, by the way? How do you get a legendary artifact? Apart from making an artifact creature, which there aren't that many of. There's like Scarecrow, into your Ring Bearer, then it's legendary. Choose 2 creatures and destroy the rest. Activate only as a sorcery, not even as a speed. This card is garbage, right? The Ring? So you're telling me to get 2 mythics, then you play a shitty card like the Ring in your deck, then you have access to Mount Doom, which is not even a good land. You're paying life for the land, and then you're losing life from the Ring, and then you have to spend 8 mana to sacrifice Mount Doom and sacrifice the Ring, which is indestructible, but it doesn't matter on sacrifice. And then you destroy everything, and you can only activate as a sorcery, is what you're telling me. Okay. Think of the flavor. All right, the flavor's pretty sick, actually. You sack the Ring, and then you sacrifice Mount Doom, and then you blow everything up. That's pretty sick, dude. Yes, I'm Wig. So I will talk about that in a moment. If you could wait a second here. I thought you said you would take the Ring to a volcano? I would take the Ring to a real volcano, like in Hawaii. I don't know if you're allowed to approach a volcano. Probably not, though. But yeah, anyways. So I give this an F, right? I guess I could try to kill people with a Mount Doom activation. 4 mana every turn to ping them for 1. All right, that could be a side quest we do. That could be on the bucket list. I think I want to give this card an F, though, unfortunately. It's got to be better than F? I don't think so. I actually don't think so. Slightly worse Sulphur Springs, you think so? How's it Pain Land an F? He plays in every red-black deck? What do you mean? Because it costs you life to spend mana? Why? Like, Pain Lands are notoriously bad and limited. Especially in a format where mana fixing is just good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, that is going to be the set review, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to... So, let me know what you guys think. If you guys are watching later on, not at the time of this recording, you'll be able to find this either on my Twitch stream. My VODs are unmuted, free for everybody. You will also be able to find my tier list and all of my ratings in its eternal glory at Desi.com. I will also be... So, Desi.com. I will also be posting these to Twitter. So, we will have like a really nice tier-rated draft tier list that you can follow, which I will update as I play as well. So, the early access event is on June 15th, and I will be playing in that all day. And then after that, we'll be updating our tier list, and you will be able to have my tier list for the pre-release as well. What else was I going to say? Oh, yes. So I will also be making original YouTube videos. Actually, before that, I will also mention that I'm also going to be making a blank tier list where you can actually, input card ratings yourself and it generates a tier list. So if you want to do this exercise yourself as you explore the draft format, you can also, we'll also provide a blank tier list, which you can update yourself, and it's going to generate and populate into the really nice view. So that's something that we've been working on. So again, check Twitter for that as well. And then last but not least, on YouTube, I'm going to be working on original videos. Original videos just showcasing like really short cards and effects and stuff like that. Like the cards I think are like the 5 cards I think that are most broken in the format, etc. So please do follow all of my shit. Just follow all my shit. So YouTube. Last but not least, it doesn't have to be now. It doesn't, you know, maybe later, but please always consider supporting our channel here. Our channel is only possible due to the support of sponsorships and also from viewers like you. So if you guys are ever interested in just like throwing a few dollars into the hat every single month, it goes a really, really long way. You can also support me on Patreon, which on Patreon, I will be having all of the old tier lists that are on Magic Arena, and we're going to try to get up the editable tier list stuff as well. So whenever there's a flashback set, or maybe you're drafting with friends, if you want to make your own tier list, then you can have that available as well. So, yeah, I appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much for everything.